Can I just say one thing? I want to talk about audiobooks really quickly. I do enjoy reading, but it is hard to fit it in right now in this season of life. But I do listen to audiobooks and I listen to podcasts. And I always thought that I could somehow access it this way. And yet I look at how much time these audiobooks are, it was overwhelming. I'm thinking like, oh gosh, it's 9 hours, 13 hours, 24 hours. There's some that are really long. And I just never thought I'd really be able to do that, especially now that I work mostly from home and I don't have a drive or anything. So I don't know how I was going to fit it in. As we got to talking, you had encouraged me to check out Audible because you use it on a regular basis. And I forgot the fact that you can speed up how fast you listen to it. And we got to talking about some books to review. And I thought the only way I was going to really realistically be able to check out this book was by doing it on Audible, got a membership to the book. I think it was an 11-hour book. And no joke, when I started it, I thought this will take me till the end of the year. So this was like 2 weeks ago that I started the book. I thought we won't be doing this episode till January. I think I got this thing knocked out in about 7 days. It was unbelievable. I just listened to it on basically during all of the transitional time during the day, like lots of different spots there, but I couldn't believe how fast it went. It was amazing. So if you're out there listening to this, feel free to speed it up. But
what speed did you listen to it? That's the question.
Yeah, I think I did. I think I started at 2x and that was a little fast for me. So I think I went to 1.5. That's where I ended up. And that was a good balance. And I couldn't believe it. The first time I listened to it, I think I knocked out like 2.5 hours. And I guess it would have been, about an hour and a half or a little bit over an hour. But I think it somehow felt like less than that. And so it was just amazing to me that in a day I could listen to whatever that is, like a fifth of the book, basically, or a sixth of the book. So that's why I did in 7 days or something like that, because it was just so fast. So anyways.
Yeah, you told me you thought it was going to take longer. I didn't even download it. And then you were like, hey, I'm done. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to get on this. So you did it in basically a week. I did it the following week. And I also wondered when I was going to have it. Now, I did schedule our time together, so I knew this was like a drop dead date. So the last few days I've been crushing this out.
Like you've been doing like 8x speed?
I'm doing 2.1x. Now, I will tell you that most of my podcasts listen to at 2x. And in finance, I've read a lot. So a lot of concepts are worn by various authors. This was not a heavy like data book at all. There are lots of things where I listen to some of my economics podcasts and I slow those down to maybe 1.2 or 1.3 because they're walking through some math because you can't see it. And then you really have to visualize that. So I would say this is not like that. This is much more stories, concepts, and she spends a lot of time on those concepts. So yeah, 2.1x with that. Now that's not something I have every book. When I listen to a book, it takes me maybe a couple pages or whatever they read to dial in. It's a little too fast, but every narrator has a little bit different speed. And I think actually maybe this was narrated by the author herself. It's Vicky Robin. So that was nice. But before I get into the book, it's a life hack, right? Isn't it amazing how much passing time you have where maybe you don't listen to anything? But honestly, I would put it, because I've got it up right here, I would just put it in my pocket, play it. And when I was walking out to get the mail or bringing in the garbage cans or running out to pick up dinner or dropping off mail, that's the only times I listen to it. I didn't have a scheduled time because I want to dedicate myself to work when I'm working. And so it's amazing how much few minutes here, 10 minutes here, and that's 20 minutes in the book adds up. And again, it's just a great life hack, whether it's podcasts, books. Honestly, I am all for using audio, podcasts, audio books, even YouTube videos. A lot of them don't have, say, visuals. They're just speaking. You can just play those, or you can have your phone running. You don't need to watch it. Great life hack. Actually, and if you have the YouTube app, you can speed those up too, in case you're wondering.
Just that's right. Yeah, I think I've seen that before. I was amazed. So again, this is from not listening to audiobooks to now I have listened to 2 audiobooks in the last 3 weeks, both on the same topic. And I'm about to jump into a third one. So knowing that I could probably read 5 books by the end of the year is unbelievable to me. Like I would have bet you $1 million probably, seriously, that I would not be able to accomplish that. So it's a little bit like starting your own business or jumping into anything new. Like you got to just do it. And then you figure out some ways to make it work, as in speeding it up. And there's a lot more of that sort of fringe time in the day than I thought. And I was really surprised because I was not doing this on time off. Like I was doing this during a normal day, not during work time, lunch, like you said, walking around the house, like just all different places. So it was unbelievable to me. I still can't believe that I was able to finish this book so fast. Anyways, just thought I needed to say that.
She talked about side hustles that I've talked about side hustles for years because I'm big into them. And I think one of the big things is I don't have time for side hustle. And then even in the presentations I do about side hustles, I go into where Americans, I don't know where the rest of you, but where Americans spend their time. It's like when you look at budgets and we talk about spending leaks, there are tons of places where the accumulated amount of time in a week is massive, but you don't think about it because it's only an hour here, 15 minutes here, 20 minutes here. And when people, I think, especially when you think about side hustles and the way I think you were thinking about books, you look at this 11 hours. Even if I listen to it on double speed, we're talking about 5-6 hours. Where am I going to find that? But when you think about the accumulation of all those small bits that add up to that, I think that's that one blockbuster headline number that sticks with us. And you're like, honestly, I don't have 6 extra hours this week. But you do when you start piecing it together.